Alright, so the long-awaited start time. So there's a few things to go over. So first off, we're going to attempt streaming this live, see if that doesn't crash and burn. I'm going to go and send a link to it in our Moby Discord server. And as well as, so to start off, I am Diego, and this is the fabulous Wasim. So we already got a few links going around. So for the new people checking in, walking in, we have the check-in for the MLH event that we're coordinating with. So that's a Bitly link at MLH React. And then we also have, so this link is for our presentation today. So our presentation is in React. It covers React. It's also built with React. And so we have it hosted for you here. Let me go ahead and get you the link here, and then we'll get started. So let's see, copy that in our Discord. There we go. So yes, I know that's a lot, but we'll get started now. So,
should we turn off the lights, guys, or? Thumbs up, yes?
All right, so if I go ahead and I type in, bit.ly/Moby React. So there's our workshop. So the workshop, like I said, it's an intro to React workshop, and it is also built in React, in large part with a lot of help from our president, Samantha. So thank you, Samantha. And so if you click on source code, you can actually see the source code of everything that you'll see here today. So all very cool, all very cool. Let me go back to, I guess I just go back. All right, cool. And now we can start. So these are our table of contents. So I can actually zoom in a little bit. And because it's responsive, it will still work. How cool. So yeah, we're going to be going a little bit over about React. We're going to go over components. We're going to go over hooks. And then Wasim built the magnum opus for the end of the event, and that's going to be the Momo clicker. So every little aspect we cover here today is all going to flow together until we show you the larger project. And it's going to be very exciting. Wasim, do you want to talk anything about that right now, or should we hold off on that?
Basically, if you played Cookie Clicker before, it's that, but much worse. If you're on the slides right now, you can scroll all the way to the bottom.
Okay, so
we have a link for that. It's like really simple, just clicker here, and then the link is right there.
So yeah, we have a lot of these code samples already prepared for you at the Code Sandbox. And so that's where you can see the cookie clicker, that's where you can see the stuff that builds up to it. All interactive for you to play with. So you can either follow along or you can just sit back and listen. So your choice.
And this is in Code Sandbox, so if you click on that link, it will create a fork, basically a copy of this, where you can just edit whatever you want. It's not going to change our copy, so if you want to play with anything, you're welcome to do anything there.
Very cool, very cool. And so just to give a quick snippet, I mean, cookie clicker, so you just kind of click on, so that's Momo, our little mascot. And so the more you click on Momo, the more coins you get. So if you've all played cookie clicker, you already know how this goes. And then you can buy along one of our old alumni, our previous president. And so then he goes ahead, he does it automatically for you because he's cool. All right, so now back to the presentation. So all this you see here, we're going to go through it pretty much step by step. So that way it might seem like really daunting to you now, but I think by the end of this, you'll feel pretty comfortable. All right, cool. Now without further ado, we go back to our React app. So, how many of y'all were able to load this up successfully on your own machines? Is it working for everybody? Cool. All right, so everyone seems to be liking it.
You did have a question over there, I think.
What's up?
I don't know how to get to the presentation.
So the link here, so you can go ahead and use, so not that link, but you can use the React Workshop. Let me go back again.
It's also this link up here on the board.
Yes.
bit.ly/Moby React.
Yeah, but I can't find it.
So it might not be immediately obvious, but the link that it sends you, so this is the presentation itself. So instead of using Google Slides or anything, we just built it ourselves. So that's kind of the whole gimmick. Might seem a little quirky, but here we go. Anywho. So just a quick bit of history. I was told by my fellow officers that this would be too boring. But I was like, no, let's pay respect to our elders. So React was made by Jordan Walk. And Jordan Walk is just kind of an interesting character. So he actually, the inception of React was all the way back in 2011. But it wasn't called React yet, it was called FBolt. And so React was actually open sourced in 2013. And I think it's pretty cool. A lot of us here at Moby are pretty big fans of just like open source stuff in general. That's why we have like, the workshop code ready for y'all. We're hoping to do more stuff in the future, but that's in the future. So like now React is pretty popular. So React is a front-end framework for those of you that may not know. It is only concerned with what you see on the front end. It makes user interfaces very easy to build by cutting each page into pieces. So React was made when Facebook was like really like launching up into the stratosphere. HTML didn't quite cut it for them anymore. React was able to offer them much better performance. In general, and you'll see in kind of our source code, React is just a lot easier to kind of like compartmentalize stuff. So now a lot of like well-known companies use it. So Amazon, Netflix, Twitter, X, Uber, Airbnb, Slack, Pinterest, and then, of course, Facebook also uses React. From my perspective, I think React's really cool because, like, not only like will it get you a good job in industry, and for like, if you just do React for whatever reason, like I don't advise that you just do React, but hypothetically, like you could make 6 figures just doing React. So if you look on like Glassdoor or ZipRecruiter, like you'll see the levels where you can make like up to like $200,000 a year with just React. So in my opinion, that's pretty crazy. That's cool. I'm actually also interested in like startups and stuff. I think it's really cool that a lot of startups are using React. So whichever way like life might take you, React, can offer a lot of utility. So going on. So now we're gonna actually get to the real stuff. So React has, like I said before, you can compartmentalize a lot with React, and we do that with components. So components is a piece of UI, and it has its own logic and appearance. And so a component can be just a button, or it can actually be the entire page. And if you look down here, so you can actually see this little code snippet, and this is already where we're going to start building. So the Momo clicker that you saw earlier, this is already the beginning of it. So you can go ahead and click on the little export button, and it'll take you to a new window. And so here, we'll just see the very basics of a component. So just by default, you see the default function. So normally when you spin up a new application, a new React app, if you spin up a new code sandbox, you already greeted with this default function. But the component is the Momo one that we made here. And do I have this a little too small for y'all? Should I enlarge this a bit? Okay, cool. So yeah, if at any moment, you have some feedback, I'm doing something a little weird, you just let me know. All right, so here we have our little Momo component. And so if we go back to our presentation, so we can see here that so components logic is away from the rest of the application. So if you are having a playing card, you can copy and paste the card styles everywhere in the application. So the point is so it makes things that would otherwise be tedious be very replicatable. So if we go back to our code sandbox component, so that's the wrong one, here's the right one. So here, and let me just do a quick thing real quick. I'm going to just put a little parentheses around here. And so here, like we saw before, we have our component Momo. And so here is just one very simple component. And in that simple component, we have a button. So I recognize a lot of you who have been coming to our HTML workshops, you've been coming to our JavaScript workshops. So it should feel pretty familiar when you see syntax like this. You see the opening element and then you see the closing element. React builds off a lot of that. Of course, I guess you have buttons in HTML too, but here we have in React a button component, a button element. And so in our component, we just have that singular button. So we have a very simple tree going on. We got our app. Inside that app, we call Momo. Inside that Momo component, we call button. And here we can see the button. The button does absolutely nothing right now. It's just a button. But what I do want to show you is the tedium that we were talking about earlier. So instead of instead of typing this code over and over and again, all we can do is just copy and paste the component over and over again. And so, let me see.
Fragments.
Wrap in fragments.
Just empty.
Pick them in.
So basically what's happening here is that it's complaining that we're returning multiple components in this one function here. So what we have to do is wrap it in this one thing called a React fragment. And it's basically just, there's nothing in it. It's just going to group them together. And when this is rendered on the web page, it's actually just these three things here without anything around it. But all this is doing is that it's wrapping all of these within one parent component, so that when it returns it, it's only doing one thing. So it might complain about it. Another way to do this is also with React.fragments. If you want to add a class to it or something like that, but just generally speaking, you can just have an empty, what do you call these? Greater than, less than sign? I don't know what they're called. Let's use that. Alright, so you go ahead. And I want to say one thing. So this right now seems like it's not doing much. It's one line here, but it's also one line here. But your components in an actual app might have, say, 100 lines in them. So doing this means using one line only when you could be copying hundreds of lines.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you, Wasim. Do you want to keep going?
Sure.
Right.
So just a little bit of context on this. The first website I used, I made a long time ago, with my portfolio, and I made it using just HTML and CSS. And I had little card things that I was using to display my projects. But once I made that project HTML code, if I wanted to add more projects, I would have to copy the entire HTML for that one project and then replace everything. What we can do in React is just make that a component, and then we can just call that component and pass things into it. Because if you notice up here, if you were here during our JavaScript workshop, we talked about a little bit how to do functions in JavaScript. And this is all a function is. At the end of the day, it's just a function. You're just passing functions around that return visual UI components. All right. You have anything to add? Or?
I'm resisting talking about class components.
We will not.
Yes.
So what he just mentioned was class components. That was a long time ago. It was done differently using classes instead of functions. We're not going to talk about that during this workshop, though. So right now, all this does is just have one button component, which doesn't really do anything. It's always showing the same text here, Momo coin, Momo coin. What we're going to do next is actually introduce props. Where's the slides? There it is.
There we go.
Did you want to run this?
No, I think you got it.
Okay. So think of component props just like you would with what do you call it, parameters to a regular function. If you're familiar with C or any other language, Java, anything like that, they always have parameters that you pass into functions, so you can add a little bit of customization to the function, right? So this is also something we can do to components, because at the end of the day, they're just functions, right? So the way we do that is we have the squiggly brackets, the braces, I don't know what you want to call them, and then you have the variable you would pass into it, and then you can use that variable inside of your component. It's literally just like a regular variable. So you have variable name here, and then you can use it. The only difference is you would notice these squiggly brackets, and that's because the props that are passed into components are actually passed within a JavaScript object. It's just one thing. You're not passing multiple variables, you're just passing one object with other things inside of it, right? So what this is called is, I think, object destructuring in JavaScript, which basically just means if you have an object with multiple properties inside, you can extract the properties you want only. So I can show a small example in here. So if we do nothing, we're just gonna get a props variable. This is not destructured. This is just the object you're gonna get normally. And the way you would pass things into it, let's say name is Moby, and then let's do something else. Year 2023. So inside of here, what we can do is outside of the return, we can have logic. So we can do like console.log props. And then in the console here, we can see that it's an object with a name, and then a year. So all these things are passed into it to make your, and then you, if you want to use it inside of your project here, or inside your component, excuse me, you just do props dot the value. And you have to surround it within brackets, because what was happening before is we were just using the string props.name. So if you notice in here, it just says props.name, but if you surround it within brackets, it's going to say Moby now, because we're using, how do I make that go away? Because we're using the actual variable. How does it do it? He's using a fancy browser that I don't know how to navigate through.
You were trying to get back to the workshop?
How do I make this one thing go away?
Oh, so yeah, because when you save, it's the same command to make the browser reappear.
Okay. So, what we can do to make this a little clearer, so you don't have to be typing props dot everywhere, we can just destructure it, and then take the one thing that we do want, in this case would be name, and then in here, we just be doing name. Okay, that one. So now it's showing the name. So you just have to add the squiggly brackets around it. Alright, so for our example here, what we want to do actually is not print the name here. Let's just bring that back to Momo. And then in here, what we want is, since this is just a button, we want to tell the component what to do when you press the button. So the way we're going to do that is just pass an onClick to it. This is just what I'm calling it. You can also do like whatever you want. So I'm going to call it onClick function. And inside of the button, this is a default component you can use. You've seen this in HTML maybe. This is a little different though because we're using React. You can pass props into it. And one of the most common props on the button are the onClick. So and this is how you pass props to a component. And here you can see onClick. Every time this is clicked, the button, it says do this. And what you pass into it is a function. So the function we're going to pass here is onClick function. And when we come here, we're going to go ahead and delete the other two. We can have a onClick function, so this name here. And then you're going to set it equal to a regular function, and we're going to use anonymous functions in here. So it takes no variables, and what it does is just burns to the console. Hello. Just going to hide that. And then whenever we click on the button, it says hello. So let's just summarize real quick. So inside of your component, you're going to define your parameter, your prop. And then inside of this prop, you can use it inside anywhere in your component, right? So in here, we're using it as a function to pass into another prop inside. So it knows what to do when it's clicked on, right? And the way we pass this prop in here is just onClick function, this is the name, and then you give it the value inside the squiggly brackets. You may not need the squiggly brackets if you're just doing strings. I think I used that earlier. You can just have the quotation marks. But for everything else, if it needs to be evaluated, basically, put it inside the squiggly brackets. All right.
Alright.
Do we have anything else here?
Before I keep letting you cook,
Mhm.
let me, apparently, we have a tiny little problem over here. Let me see what happens if I just, take that off. Nope. If I take this off. We'll see if that fixes anything. And if not, ni modo.
All right. All right, so we can move on. So we just learned how to customize our components a little bit by passing props into them, basically like passing variables into the prop from a parent to a child. Next, we're going to talk about component states. And this is just another fancy word to describe a very simple concept again. A state of a component is literally just any piece of information that you want to keep track of inside of the component. So if you have, for example, in our case, if you have a component that likes to increase a number every time you click on it, the state might be that number. So you keep track of that number, and every time you click on the button, you increase that number. It is worth mentioning that every time the state changes, the component will re-render. And by re-render, I mean the web page will change to reflect the new component changes. Are we going to go more in detail about that later? Or?
I mean, we have an example here.
Okay.
But not maybe not super much.
All right. So one thing also, state here, this we see use state. This is what we're going to use to keep track of our state. I'll go over it a little bit. But whenever you see this use in front of another thing, so use state, use effect, we're going to talk about that next, I think. These are called hooks. And these basically are functions that are provided by React. You can also create your own hooks. I don't think we're going to go over that in this workshop, though. But these hooks basically provide functionality that you can use everywhere in your component. It's similar to any of the default functions you might get from C for like strings and stuff like that. I will go over the specifics of it in a little bit, though. So in our example here, this is the full example. You'll see that we're using, let me just close that. We're using the use state here a number of times. And here I'll go over exactly what it does. So let's say in your app, we want to keep track of a count, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use a state. So use state. So const, it's an array. Let's say coins, and then set coins. Use state 0. So what this line does here is now we have state in our component. It's going to keep track of the coins, right? So use state is going to return two things to us inside of an array, and this is similar to the object destructuring that I mentioned earlier, where you can grab specific things out of the object without taking the whole object in. You're extracting things from inside. This is the same thing with an array, where you just have the brackets instead of the squiggly brackets here. So this is going to return two things. It's going to return to us the value that we're keeping track of. So in case the coins, and every time you want to see how many coins you have, you're going to basically look inside the coins variable. The other thing here is set coins that it's going to return to us. And this set function is what you would use to change the amount of coins you have. Because one thing that separates state from a regular variable in React is that state is immutable. So what that means is that it's basically like when you use const. You can't, once you set it, you can't change it. So I can't just do coins equals 9 here. That's going to give me an error. So what you can do instead is set the number of coins. Set coins 9. So this is how you would set it. And what this function does, I know I just said you can't change the variable directly, but what this does, it doesn't change it directly. It returns a copy of it, kind of. So it throws away the old value, and it sets it to whatever you just specified here, and it gives you a new copy. You're still using the coins variable, but it has the new value in it now. So now that we have the state coins, what we want to do is increment this number every time you click, right? So we're going to have a function here, earn coin. It takes an amount, so how many coins you want to earn. And then what it does is just set coins, however many coins you have right now, plus the amount. So it just increments to your coin count, basically.
So now in here, what we're going to do is pass this function to Momo instead of the, let's just do one here. So instead of printing hello to the console, now we're going to be sending it this function that we made here. So earn coins 1. We can also have just copied this and put that in here instead, but this is going to just make it a little bit easier because we don't have to worry about how many coins we have right now. We just pass it how many coins we need. So every time the button is going to be clicked, it's going to increase this count right now, but it's not going to show it just yet. I'm just going to trust me, bro, on that one. What we can do to check a little bit here, the next state, or the next hook we're going to look into, use effect. This is what you would use in order to trigger certain events based on state. So basically, if you want something to run when the component first renders on a page, you can use this. If you want something to run every time state changes, you can also use this. So that's what I'm going to use right now. So use effect, and it's imported here now. So use effect, and this takes in 2 variables. So use state just took the initial value, and this is going to take 2 things. It's going to take a function and then an array, and that's going to be a dependency array. So for the function, we'll just give it a function here. All it's going to do is just tell us how many coins we have. It's going to print it to the console. And then, so if I don't give it the array, it's going to yell at me a little bit, I think. Maybe not. Okay. So what you want to do is have an array here. So if you have an empty array, this is the dependency array. Since it depends on none of the state, it's just going to run once whenever the component is going to show up on the screen. And so we can see here 1. If we want this to run every time a state changes, what we can have is just set the name of the state to check in here. And now every time the state's going to change, it's updating it down here. So that's one way to use effect. Every time state changes, you can just run a function, run a method. If you want to pull stuff from an API, you can do that. This is a really nice way to do it.
Yeah, just kind of to emphasize, if it wasn't already immediately obvious, when you use effect, it just breaks down to you have a function, and so here's the functionality. It's going to console log, like you already saw, and it's going to get called every time that coins change. The function will get called. So that's all that's happening. Yeah, what's that?
I was going to ask, is the projection screen supposed to be on the screen? I don't think it's outside of it.
It might be like super delayed.
It's frozen.
It's frozen.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Yeah, we've tried to in some capacity to like record or live stream at every single one of these workshops, the HTML, JavaScript. Now we have not succeeded every single time. But let's look at the OBS real quick and just see if there's anything we can do. Yeah, so the video capture is not the window capture. Oh, so
I think the video is still updating on there, but the actual thing is not.
it should be the window capture. No? Display capture?
You want to...
So it looks like it's good now.
Okay.
Does that seem better?
Might take a second
It's
to
like
update.
Yeah. But thank you. I got you like super like.
Where is this live streamed at?
So it is live streamed. You know, a little plug our YouTube channel. Wasim, are you able to pull up Mobi UTA on YouTube?
Yes. 1 second. Once I figure out how to create a new tab. Oh. So on YouTube, you want to look up Mobi UTA, and then it's right there, the live stream. So this is going to be our channel, and then there's the stream up here. We've also posted the link on Discord if you want to take a look at that. All right. I was going a little fast over there, so if anyone has any questions, you can go ahead and ask.
We have the food!
All right. Should we take a second to get food?
Yeah, we'll take a second.
All right.
Alright, so we got pizza incoming. We also got cookies out here for y'all. We still got more presentation. So it'll be super cool, like you get your pizza and then you keep watching. But I don't think so. We'll have it down here right for y'all. Yes, that's a good idea. Wasim, do you know how to put the QR code on there?
Click on. I mean, I've never used this thing before, but just looking through.
Yeah, it looks like it's lagging. And, are you trying? You QR
Is it this
code.
one?
Yes.
Okay, maybe not.
We can download it and then like blow it up.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
We might need to make more space.
Can I pull up the AC website? Can I do an announcement?
Yeah. Perfect. So you're gonna want to go over yonder,
Oh, I'll let you touch it.
and then you tab. And then
Oh, it's Arc.
Is there? Not if there was, we should have been using it the whole time. Cool.
Don't announce it just yet.
You might want to. Some people might leave.
Should we say setting up so I can grab some?
You might want to get ready for Ryan.
Do you wanna say that we'll continue the workshop real quick after everyone grabs their food and we settle down? Okay.
I want to make sure they're ready. Where's the plate? Where's the other bit? Oh, there it is. Okay. Do you like it? What? You think it's cool? Backdrop?
It's too big then.
It's too big.
We were trying to find a spot to put it because everywhere there's a door. So I was like, we have a way right to give you a mic to come to. Where's the plate?
All right. The time has come. Pizza is ready, but we're going to call it by rows so we don't have everyone swarm here. So could we get the first 2 rows from the front to come up to get pizza? Also, in the meantime, hi guys, I'm Ryan. I am the president and the founder from last year for ACM and HackUTA. Would highly, highly recommend joining HackUTA if you guys haven't already. Our applications will close today. So if you're wanting to go, definitely apply. It is a 24-hour marathon. We get free prizes, free food, free snacks. Companies, internships will be there if you want to interview, and everything good. But the workshop will continue after that. So if you guys haven't already, apply for Hack UTA.
How's it going? We're gonna need to use the live printer today or tomorrow.
Coming tomorrow. I'm working from 12 to from morning to 2.
Morning to 2.
Oh, sorry. Here? What do you need?
Just tell them to only get 2 slices now.
Okay.
Until everyone's done.
Okay, make sure to monitor that. Also, whenever you guys come up, 2 slices per person, 1 breadstick per person, and then we also have cookies to the left. So please get your fair share. Don't take from others. Thank you.
Ryan,
Yeah.
someone was just asking me how to sign up for hackUTA.org. They don't know how to get to this website.
Okay.
Is it 1 cookie? 2 cookies?
Yeah, 1 cookie.
1 cookie. That help? Yeah. I'm gonna. I mean, I'm sorry I'm going too fast. I just realized that I wasn't stopping and asking. Just leave this here.
If you guys haven't already, go to hackuta.org, click the apply button to apply. Today's the final day to apply. Over $5,000 worth of prizes, 3 different tracks. It's gonna be great.
Where's the mic?
I saw like.
Yo, you showed up! Bro, do you want to see the 1 quadrillion plushies we have?
You got them?
We rated Daiso, yeah.
Where? Today?
Yeah, it's in Soda's cart.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen you in ages. It's been 30, you don't remember? From the research PhD? Abdul.
Oh, from
PhD workshop we did for deep privacy.
for the RCS, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's been like ages.
It's been so long. Are you gonna hack UTA?
Yeah, I signed up like a long time ago. It's gonna be fun.
I heard your voice and I recognize it. I was trying to think like, what was it? Yeah.
Can I put my stuff down somewhere?
Yeah. Over here.
Yeah.
So you're gonna hack UTA? Okay. We have this year is gonna be different from any other hackathon you've probably seen.
Multiple events happening.
We have a fun gimmick this year. It changes the way it's different from every other hackathon. Yeah. Wait, William, how long are you gonna be here for? Okay, you should help us unload the thing because you got some stuff. If you want some snacks and you want some Celsius,
Fulfilling my duties. ACM officer.
community manager.
It's been a while.
Oh yeah, all three of us went to the RCS workshop.
Bro,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was gonna say hi to you, but I didn't know it was you. I did not want to face. So I was just like, I know.
Wait, we're from this side. Or if you want to squeeze in, careful about the people here. Wait, what?
Right there. They're the ones that invited me.
Wait, where are they?
They're right there.
Where?
Right there. I thought Saul would block me. She deleted. I was like,
You can see me now.
see your face. Hey, wait a minute. What's that supposed to mean?
Bro, I've been running all day. I have not been paying attention. We were running late.
I'm taking physics 2 now. I know you're paying.
I took it with you, remember? We're in the same class. You just sat on the other side.
I never went to class. How do you
I saw you like once taking like the final exam. I was like, you're even. You know, that's what everybody did. How do you guys do?
Application for.
I was doing this. I think it was the last time. I stumbled so fucking hard during the take all the 15.
Same. I'll try to like the last
But how are you feeling now after physics? Post physics.
Post physics, I felt free.
So free.
Felt alive.
I feel like doing like computer like they have to do digital logic.
You're an engineer.
Software engineers? Wait, Computer engineers, they do digital logic. So they gotta still do it. It's not, yeah, it's still gonna do with like Coach Charles Bull and stuff. Like, happy late birthday.
Oh, when was it? When was it? It was yesterday.
I said happy birthday.
If you hadn't blocked me, I would have texted you.
You blocked it?
No. Look, okay, look. Okay. I thought it's all messed up because like Anthony's birthday is like halfway. I thought Anthony's birthday was yesterday. Like, cause I was on call with Anthony yesterday in Discord, and I was like, I felt so stupid because it turned like 12. I was like, yay! And he was like, what?
Wait, was his the second?
This is the 6th.
Oh, his is the sixth.
I know, cause 12. Okay, how I thought it was like yours, right? It's like my birthday's 12. Divided by 2 is yours, and divided by 2 is Anthony's. But it's divided by 2 is Anthony. You know?
I thought you said his was like a day before mine.
No. Dang, you're old, huh?
You'll see during the
Oh, my birthday can be like
have to wait.
joint, like shared.
Oh yeah. My came
No leaking.
so bad.
No leaking.
So bad. Oh my god.
That's the first time you ever like.
No, it was the second time I drank, but I had soju, right? I had a bottle and a half of soju. You know how you're supposed to drink it slowly? No, I chugged that.
Dude, that shit sneaks up on you. It's not just one drink, like that shit is like a whole bottle of wine, dude. Like the fucking gallon, like you drink like.
It was so bad. Like I cried apparently the entire car ride home.
Like of happiness.
I don't know. But don't drink soju just straight up like.
Did you not even get the flavored one? Like,
I did. I got
okay.
pineapple, lychee, and something else. And so we all shared, but I had the most because, you know, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
So don't drink that shit.
Dude, come here. I'm so happy that you drank because I thought, you know, you didn't. Dude, I thought my party was gonna be so lame. Like, these motherfuckers, what are we gonna do? Fucking play like karaoke, like play like Jeopardy or something? I was pissed. So, okay, you, Ben, Christine, there's like 3 people. I don't feel bad about drinking anymore. We're gonna try the other flavors, baby. So, I heard peach is good.
If I had to, it's going to be like very chill.
Yeah, of course.
No, 'cause
Yeah. I'm not gonna peer pressure.
going down was fine. Coming back up, no, that shit burned.
Oh my God.
It's so bad. The guy hangover was terrible. What day is it?
Probably the weekend, so like 14th? Saturday, ideally Saturday or something. The thing is, if I make it into Code for Good, like I'm gonna like go there and then go home and like, hey, get fucked up.
Yeah, have you heard back?
I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. It's whatever. I want to get into HEB. I really want to get into a place where, like, yeah, because like, dude, like, we just gotta rely on our soft skills at this point. You know what I mean? So like Walmart. You applied there OA this year. It's like purely behavioral.
No, I applied there, and then they're like, oh, you didn't do the assessment or something that they make you do.
And they didn't let you?
They declined me, so I'm going to reapply with a different email.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter, dude.
And she's like, yeah, I've never applied here.
Yeah. Because they don't have any information as long as you don't go like past. That's so funny though. Man, happy birthday. I mean, I felt bad, but since had fun. So.
No, I'm going to keep on board because
What else am I gonna go do? I want to go like full trifecta, dude. I want to buy cigarettes. Just go off of there.
In general for the presentation.
Have you been talking?
don't try this cheap flavor.
It's not good? That's the one I want to try. The best is like grape, peach, and strawberry.
Strawberry is really good. You can taste the flavor. Just don't have a Tic Tac before it.
Tic Tac.
Yeah, I had Tic Tac before it.
At least you have like banana.
No, the strawberry one, you can actually taste the flavor of that.
Yeah, when you're not too fucked up to taste it.
That's the first one I had. That was actually pretty good. The hangover the next day.
Not many, doesn't feel like a lot of people
Out to the sun for like a couple hours.
What did you do? Was that your first ever like?
No, I drank before. I had the first one.
I know, but your first ever hangover that bad?
Yeah, the first time, like, because no one else drinks but raw, right? Because like I'm very like people drink, but I'm very like.
Me too.
It was fine the first time. I didn't have a hangover that bad, so I was like, oh, it's not gonna be this bad this time. Oh no, it was.
Drinking with friends is so bad. You get like not even peer pressure. You pressure your own self. Cause I'm not a bitch. Like my friends will really be like 15 like shots deep. After 3 I'm done. After 3 I'm just like, oh wow. They're like, you guys even feeling this? I'm like, no.
What's called drink thing, they had to take care of me. So they were like,
You said you probably will? Straight edge. You should get a tattoo that says that. People do that. I feel you. I was gonna make mimosas. You're gonna hold her hair while she's throwing up.
not that one again. I can't have that burning something good.
Andy told me that shit one day, and I was like, "You're never gonna touch my fucking hair." He was like, "If you throw up, like, what do you fall? Like, you fall in the toilet or something." I don't think he's ever drank.
I almost fell in the toilet. Fucking imagine.
So bad.
Thank you for coming.
We should didn't try.
Okay, go.
Oh no, I wasn't allowed to. Yeah, one sip, they were like, you're not near this table at all. I took over the voice message. I sent her a voice message at like 1 in the morning. One that
One time I got like fucked up. Like the morning after, I looked at my FaceTime log. There's fucking so many calls. So many people.
crying about how much I love my sister. That shit sounds like so good. It has no like flavors like real mint. Like there's nothing that's
it doesn't have that like gagging. You know what I mean? Especially if you eat it with anything else or like drink it with anything else, you're done.
No, Fireball. That one, it has like something to it, like
It's cinnamon. Fireball is
it
disgusting.
has a taste. I actually like that one. It has like a little. Oh,
Wait. Let me show you guys.
We're gonna have more than half of the applicants come, which is gonna be.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, that's good. Okay. So after the party, I'm just gonna drink it. So I'm not gonna feel like. Hell yeah. Yeah. Not anymore. I used to like drink during the school week and shit. I had like to study to do that. It's so bad. Anyway. Yeah, have you tried too many double? This is you, yeah? 2 shots of vodka?
Take 2 if you want to.
Thank you for coming. That's great. 21.
Yes, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Do you know for Anthony's like his first project for like software design? It's due on his birthday. Yeah, and he tried to ask it to move, but he said no. He was like, fuck you. Huh? I'm not gonna invite him. Because like, you know, that's like a friend thing, you know what I mean? And like sorry. Ben told me like our high school friends like wanted sorry, no. No, but like over the summer in the lab, like this is what we stored like the fucking like toxic like culture starters in. So I was like, who put this here? Anyways, but and I said no to hang out with him because I didn't want to mix like friend groups, you know. And then like I'm probably gonna hang out with Andy in like the theoretical class, like after our class, like Jose, like Ann. I don't know. But then like, but yeah, are you guys free on Saturday? Yeah, night. Yeah. But that means I might do stuff in the morning and then like, I don't know. What do you guys think is a good time? Like 7? Don't want to stay too late. And also like, I kind of wanted to cook something. That's what I wanted. But like, I don't know. That's the thing, you know. Like, what is there to do? Also, you guys can meet. I have no idea. In bed. Because she's driving all the way from San Antonio to here for my birthday. Yeah. So I feel hella bad because I'm just going to be Ben's at home. You guys have anything exciting to do for her? Because like she's driving up every weekend. I'm scared. But I'll go. I'll like have to. No, because like you're gonna watch me drink. I'll watch you have fun. That's like the same vibe. Oh, round 1. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of just want to like walk into the strip club and walk right out. We almost made stuff. Remember? We almost made stuff with ATM.
Anybody who's watching the live stream is gonna be like,
yeah. Hello there. Nah, just like everything, you know. And what else can you do in 21? Buy guns. I started dipping. You know my friend? I was gonna there's like a lot of stuff I want to do, but like I kind of invited too many people, you know, and like organizing that is like such a big hassle. You know?
But I don't think you have any.
I think I said because like you and Zach, me and Christine, Ben and Quincy, Ryan, you and Janet. I know I gotta keep y'all a couple. I feel bad as fuck. No, because like.
Once everyone sits down.
The only thing is bring him along, man. Bring that motherfucker. No. Man, you got yourself to suck his hand. What do you say? Come here.
Yeah, me and Trevor, because I'm the winner, remember?
Well, sorry, not all. I hope it was a horrible experience. No, it wasn't.
One of my friends, he's like, oh, like, I can call him things we're like talking or something, but we're not. We're just friends. Told one of my friends that, and I was like, I'll like tell y'all the or tell you the story. Yeah, we can friend him.
Okay, friend zoned or something? You need like a side hug? You need a pat on the back?
I like blocked him afterwards, but look.
All right. If you guys want seconds, we have seconds. Feel free to come down.
Let's do the seconds after. We can do the seconds at the end. You guys want something? We can. I think we're good.
Okay. So can I do a quick preamble? What? Can I do one last Hack UTA shout out?
Yeah.
Should we do it now? I think you're wait time, but should we do it now or wait? Huh?
Let's end the break and
Yeah.
just so we can go back. I'll skip the second.
Yeah. Everyone's got seconds. All right. One last advertisement. If you guys haven't already, this workshop is a collaboration between ACM, Hack UTA, and Moby. We would appreciate it if you guys applied for Hack UTA. It is the College of Engineering's biggest event of the year. Over 5,000 in prizes. We feed you all 4 meals. It's a 24-hour event. Free swag, free boba if you stay till midnight. Free swag, free prizes. We're gonna have companies there, internship opportunities. So if you guys are interested in any of that, apply today. We close these apps at midnight. Everybody else will be waitlisted. So apply if you haven't already. hackuta.org/apply.
Do we get free friends if we attend?
You also get free friends if you attend. Wasim will friend you.
We do not guarantee.
But yeah.
There's like a lot of people left. I think they might have thought we were I wasn't honestly coming in, I didn't realize how many people were because it doesn't look like that when everyone's stacked. Are you gonna stick around or are you gonna do hacking team things after?
She has swag that we're doing to the office.
Oh, did you guys get the card?
Taking pictures on the backdrop for like the Instagram story. We do.
You're on the live stream right now. Say hello to the YouTube. Yeah, hi guys. Make sure to subscribe and like. Thank you to Moby. Tell everyone to join the Moby. Because everything is in a
Have you guys been doing a lot of shout-outs for hacking UTA?
I mean, you're shouting it out. Where's the I don't know, because I was taking the car down with Samantha, so I wasn't here for the start of the workshop for like the first few minutes. Apparently, things have been said, but I don't know what was said. I think Diego was announcing like to check in and do stuff, but I don't know what he was saying specifically.
Okay. Because if I might leave soon, I just asked that people in mind a shout out for ACM, HackUTA, and Mobi because this shit's all on our card. My credit card hurts. It's not just credit card. It hurts.
This is like personal, like you're gonna be reimbursed, though, right?
Do you want to see what my card looks like?
Maybe we should.
Okay, last time, HackUTA.org/apply. I would like to also thank everyone here for attending. I'd like to thank Moby for hosting the workshop, Bobby for ACM and HackUTA, and of course the HackUTA directors that are here who are co-running this event. So, yep. You guys, can you give a round of applause for that? All right, I better see y'all there or else. Thank you. If you want bucket hats at HackUTA, come. Yes. Bucket hats at HackUTA.
It's only 100, so not for everyone.
Limited edition.
Limited edition. We can sell it for $1 million.
Thank you, Ryan. So, how do y'all like me with the microphone?
I like you.
You like me? You're gonna be a new officer one day. I just know it. Anywho, so yeah, we're gonna continue the presentation. Wasim will continue cooking. I just wanna, I very much appreciate y'all sticking around. I know you had several options for a picture field. I thank you for choosing Mobi UTA. And so, Wasim, would you like the microphone?
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes.
I like speaking into microphones. Is this working? I can't hear myself.
So maybe a little closer.
Hello. All right. So we'll get started again here in a minute. I think we already went through most of the slides. I will be going over the Momo Clicker example in more detail right now because the code snippets we were making were a little bit more simple just to show the technology, like the functions and things we were using. But now I'll probably finish up the slides very quickly and then we'll jump into the Momo Clicker. And I'll go line by line. If you guys have any questions, you can raise your hand right now or as I'm going through. I know I didn't really pause very often before. So if you have any questions, fire them whenever you have. All right. By the way, before we get started, we are trying some new things with this workshop. This presentation website here that we have is a little React project we're trying to cook up right now. Trying to see if we can make our own like package, some sort of small framework for React. We can just download from NPM and just set up a slide just on the go. We're trying to come up with a lot more features for this, trying to put like interactive code snippets, so like how you looked at the code sandbox, side-by-side codes and stuff like that. This is the first time we're using it, but we're gonna probably be adding a lot more features into this in the future. All right, so I went through, I guess I'll go like really quickly, just speed run through the slides in case you have any questions. So component is just a function. You can pass into it a lot of things. You can pass into a prop. It has state. You can keep track of those and act based upon them. So this is how you would make a component. You can have it in its own file. You can also have it in just all files together. I'll go over that in more detail when we go through the Momo Clicker. But essentially, you can either make it like this, where it's just a function, the name of the function, the parameters that it might take, and then its return and any logic you might have in there. So that's one way to do it, but you can also do it closer to this, where it's you're basically yes. All right. So this way, we're basically saving an anonymous function into a variable. That's kind of what's going on here. So this is the variable. And then here is the anonymous function where it's just the variables or the parameters that go into the function here. So either way works. You can create functions in either way you want, but I normally do this for reasons unknown to me, to be honest. All right. So then we have component properties. Those are just like variable function parameters. You can pass things into the function here and then use it inside of your component. Just make sure to surround it with squiggly brackets, or you can have one props variable up here that you can tap into by doing props dot the name of the variable that's passed in. In my opinion, this way is a little bit more clear because anyone looking at your code can see what props are you're expecting and which props you're going to be seeing in your codes. Because if you see an image, you'll clearly know that, hey, I'm using an image in this component. However, if you just keep it as props, you won't have to dig through the code here and see that, hey, I'm using a props.image here, so this component accepts a prop. So it's a little bit more clear this way, in my opinion. Next, we talked about state, and state is just a way to save information about a component, things that it's keeping track of. You can act on it, you can update it, all of those things. State, just like it returns two things. Here, if I can find the... Where is use state being used in this example? I guess it's not. All right, we'll go here. So state will return two things. I guess you can pass into it one thing first, and this one thing is the initial value. So what's happening here, the coins will be set to 0 when you start. And this can be anything. It can be a string that says hi. It can be an object. It can be literally anything. But in our case, we're just setting it to 0 because we want coins to start at 0. This thing is going to return two different pieces of code that we can use. It's going to return the variable that we want, the actual value. This is how we can read it. If you're familiar with object-oriented, this is sort of similar to getters and setters. So this would be the getter. You can get the value. You can look at the value. And then this is the setter where you can use it to set the coins. You can set whatever you want. And we're using it in here. So you set, and you just put the new value that you want in there. Any questions on this so far? All right. Next, we talked about use effect. So use effect, it takes two things here. It takes the effect, which is essentially just a function, and then it takes a dependencies array, which is optional, but always put a dependency array. If you're not gonna need it to depend on anything, just leave an empty array there. And the way this works is if you leave the array empty, it's gonna run this effect, this function, once whenever the component mounts. So if you have like a confetti effect you want to play whenever the component first mounts, you can kind of use this and just leave the dependency array empty because it's going to run once. And then confetti will pop up and then it'll never run again until it re-renders. Keep in mind though, if you have state that's changing, it might re-render again and it's going to play this over and over. Also, if you want to keep track of a specific state, you can put that in the dependency array, which is what we did in this example. So this is the use effect. Here's the function we passed in. And this function doesn't have to be an anonymous function. We could have technically passed this function in here. Normally they are anonymous as far as I've used, but you can pass any function in here. And so what this does with this array is that it's looking at the coins, and every time the coins update, it's going to run this. So it's going to put it in the console in our example here. And for use state, like I mentioned, it's the initial state here. So here's, I think, an older version of the, actually before I move on, any questions about use effect, use state, or anything that I talked about so far? All right. So for the Momo clicker that we have here, this is, I think, an older version of it. It's not very nice, but you can click. You get coins up here. And I clicked on stuff. And then you can buy hackers, which gets you more coins. The cost is here, 50, and we have 20, so you see the, where's the clicker? You can see the circle with the line. That means you can't click it in this example right now. But the most updated version is actually on the Code Sandbox. If you're on the slides, you can click on that link and also see what I'm seeing. You can also edit it, like I mentioned at the start. Anything you do, it's just going to be in your own fork of this. You're not going to affect this code, so don't worry. You can play how to your heart's content with this one. So this example here, we have Momo. We click on Momo. Money goes up. It initially starts going up by 1. And we can see that here. You get $1 per click. If we click enough times here, there we go. So $30 is the cost of an upgrade. When you upgrade, it's gonna, now you get $1.3 dollars per click. And this also affects your little hackers here. So every hacker is gonna produce 6.5 here instead of, it used to say 5, but it's upgrading it every time you update. So when we get enough money here, we can, so this costs 65 right now. There, now we bought 1, so that's what it says there. So now it's updating it automatically. And you're just gonna keep getting money this way. I'm not gonna go over too many details of Cookie Clicker because honestly I haven't played it. But this is the better version. Alright, so the structure of this app is over here. So we have the source folder. This is where all the code is. And then we have a public folder, normally with React apps and I don't know, with regular HTML. But you have a public folder. This is where you're going to put your assets, any images you might have here, and you can just reference it in your app to look at this image over here. So here I have a few images that we're using for our example. We have the 2 images here and then the Momo image. This is also where the initial HTML code goes, but we're not going to go over this too much. Then in our root folder, we have a package.json. This is, I don't know if we went over NPM very much during the JavaScript workshop, but it's basically a package manager for JavaScript. You can download packages and libraries over NPM, so this is just information for that, dependencies and all that stuff. And then here is just another asset. In our source folder, normally you have your starting files, the index.js, and this is, if you've paid attention during our JavaScript workshop, this is what this is doing. It's just using the get element by ID. So it's looking at your HTML tree and getting some, it's getting the root element and it's gonna just inject the rest of your app inside of it. We don't need to, if this is okay if you're not getting all this, it's more like boilerplates like skeleton. What's up?
Hey, the dude in the back that I just talked to, do you mind if I expose you real quick? Okay, cool. I'm gonna airdrop a photo to my MacBook real quick. Let me see. So, here, let me come around to the laptop.
I'm gonna expand this so I don't expose my terrible CSS.
Alright, so I'm gonna go to airdrop. And I don't know if they get to post any. Is there a security issue to exposing my airdrop, Mr. CSEC President?
No.
Okay, cool. So there's a lot of options.
Do you want this?
Not in just a second.
You need to airdrop to your laptop, not the other way around.
So I see myself. All right, so there I am. I'm gonna open in Photos.
But airdrop on something.
So there's some of my old photos. I do not have a fascination with oil machines. Do not need to worry. There's Momo, 3D print. But here's the photo I'm looking for. So, so how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm getting cross-eyed to what? 127 million? Billion? All right, cool. Does anyone beat that at all?
Yes. Look into the Discord general in Moby.
Are you for real?
Yes. These are some rookie numbers here. I've vigorously tested this app.
All right, well, cool stuff. So yeah, I guess you can't beat the creator.
Of course.
All right. Well, thank you, Wasim. Thank you, man in the back. Good job. Thank you. Woo! Give it up.
All right. So if we look back into the Discord image here, This is using a scientific notation. I think it was displaying the words in the numbers in a weird way. Since then, I've actually updated it so it says K for 1,000. Just looks nicer. All right, so we were talking about the source folder. This is where all the source code goes. You normally have a convention where all of your components are going to go into a components folder inside the source. That's not really enforced anything. This is just a convention that people use. And here I have 3 components. We have the hacker component, which is these guys down here. It's a little bit of a longer file, 65 lines. So imagine if you're using just regular HTML, you'll be copy pasting these 65 lines over and over for each hacker. In this case, we only have 2, but imagine if you had like 100 of them, and then each one of them required 65 lines to be pasted into your source code. Then we also have the MoMA component, which is basically just this button here. This is kind of what we were looking at earlier with a little bit more props and code in here. And then this here is an up arrow, and do not be fooled, this is just SVG. I just copied this from a website and I put it in here. And all this is this one little arrow over here. You could also have just put this as an SVG in your public folder, but this is the way I just did it. All right. So the index, we kind of went over it a little bit before. It's just grabbing the thing from your HTML, like the root from your HTML tree, and then it's just going to inject the rest of your app inside of that. And what that looks like is basically here inside of your root, render all of these things. Strict mode, you can just ignore that for now. That's just React things. And then the app here, this is the start of your, app, right? So the app itself is a component, and this is it. So in our other example, the app was just an empty file at first that just displayed like a word or something, and we changed it a little bit. In this example, though, we have a little bit more going on. We have so many versions. Oops, sorry. All right. So, and this abbreviated number is just some code I stole from Stack Overflow. The link is up here if you want to check it out. It's just, this is how I made the number look a little bit prettier. I did nothing here, so I will take no credit. Right. So inside of our app, we have some of the things we were talking about earlier. So the app itself is a component, like we talked. So technically, if we wanted more apps for whatever reason, like you wouldn't do this, but like you can replicate your app like 100 times. But the app is just a component. And inside of here, we can see a few states. We have a state for the coins, like we had in the other example. It starts at 0. And then we have a coins per click. And that's what this is, essentially just defining how many coins you get every time you click on normal. And then you also have an upgrade cost, because if you notice, whenever you upgrade this here, this number is going up. Because each upgrade is giving you more points, so it just gets more expensive. So we want to keep track of that in our state as well. Then this is just a constant number that's never going to change, so I just put that in a constant. No need to keep that tracked in state. Because remember, whenever you update the state, the app's going to re-render. So if you have, or the component's going to re-render. So if you have like a component that's doing a lot of heavy lifting, it's going to like a website using an API and bringing some information that takes a little bit of time. So if it just keeps re-rendering, it might be a little bit bad for your performance. So anything that doesn't really need to be updated, I would personally just put that in a const, not a state. Here I just defined a few functions. I already talked about this earlier, but the earns coins, it just adds your specific amount to your coins. And then this one just subtracts them. And we need this just to make our life a little easier, because the set coins is just going to set whatever value you put in there. You could technically just throw a string inside and it's going to be just fine. So what I'm doing here is just abstracting away the fact that you have to look at your coins and add them. I'm just going to give it an amount, and it's going to do the heavy lifting for us. So inside of the app, this looks a little messy, but the overview of it is that, so this is the div, the container, essentially your entire app is inside of here. And then you have a few sections. The first section is the clicker section. So this thing here, this upgrade button, and then these two pieces of information. And you can kind of see them. There's a header here for the number of coins, whatnot. These are just simple HTML things. But then here, over here we have Momo. This is the component that we were working on earlier. In the example, it was showing it in the same file, but normally you would want to separate your files based on its concern. You don't want to put too many unrelated things together. So the way you would split a component into a different file is by, well, first of all, you make the file, and then you define the component, right? And you want to export it. That's the important part here. If you don't export it, you can't use it in a different module, so you want to export it, and the default word here just means that you don't need to, because you can have multiple components in the same file, but the default one that's going to be exported is Momo. So the way you would use it in your app is just at the top. This is basically like you do with the hashtag include and then the name of the library in C. You just use it right about here, this line 2. So you're importing Momo from this file path. So just components.momo. This is just right there. Want to say something?
Yes. Do you have more things you like really want to get to?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I'm just going over. Are we running out of time?
We're running a little bit up.
Okay.
But there's time for a few more things if like there's something you really want to get to.
Are we trying to end it or?
I guess so, yeah.
So you're ending it right now.
I'm gonna end it soon.
Okay. So we are running out of time, so I'm gonna quickly just kind of walk through the higher level things of this. So state, always put your state first thing in your component. It has to be the first thing you have in your component. All your hooks should go up here. Hooks are these functions that are provided by React. Use dot.
So yeah, I don't want Wasim to rush too much. I wanted to get to what he has to say with quality. But yeah, so we are going to when he's done, I'll get back to it. I'll announce a little thing. We're gonna have a little competition for after the workshop for how you can get some prizes. It'll be a little fun little game we'll be hosting on our Discord, but I'll get to that after Wasim gets to finish.
All right.
All right, cool.
This is a secret. I didn't know about that. All right. So we have all of our sections defined here. This is the up arrow. This is just another component that we have, and it's also defined up here. Just notice that for our Momo, we have, I called it an onGetRich here because this is what's basically giving you the points. But you can name your props however you want. You can pass them this way. You just have the brackets and then you have the function inside. Do keep in mind something that I make so many mistakes over. If you just give it the function call like this, it's not going to work. See, it's complaining about it. It's saying it's things that I don't understand. Oh. Earned coins. All right, so it's saying too many re-renders. I don't know the underlying details behind this, if I'm being completely honest, but just make sure whenever you want to do a function call inside of a prop, you always give it an anonymous function. You don't just call the function. So how you do that, you just have the parentheses and then the arrow. And there you go. That works again. You can have all of your props like this. I think I'm running out of things to say here. All these class names are just CSS class names. The reason they say class name and not just class is because in JavaScript, which is what this is, it's class is a reserved word. That's how you create classes. If you're familiar with Java, you know what those are. But just know that class is a reserved word, so they changed some of the things. It's not 100% translation between HTML and this, which is called JSX. So it's not 100%. Some of the things, the naming conventions change. So this is class name, not just class. And then for our hacker here, there's all of our props. And something that I do want to mention is really quickly, how much time do we have left? All right. So there's this concept of ownership, kind of, with your components, because each component has a state. Sometimes the parent of that component might want to change that state. So things like that, I think I have an example of it in here. So, in this case, we have the, okay, maybe not. So sometimes you want the parent to specify when something runs, right? So if I had this button here that is updating the count that was inside of another component, what you would do is you would pass it a function, right? So essentially, I guess in this case here where we're, if I go to the other, so in here, where we're passing a function in here, the child component doesn't know what's inside that function. It has no idea what it does. It just thinks that it's a function and it's just gonna press the button on it, it's gonna do something and it has no idea. So the child has no idea what the function is, but it has control over when it's gonna run. Because this child has the button, the child is controlling it right here when that function is gonna run, but it doesn't know what it is. So sometimes you might wanna reverse that and like, it's a little complicated. I don't know if we have time for it now, but just components have ownership of their own state sometimes. And you sound like you want to say something, so.
I don't know. How do y'all feel? I'm thinking that's time. You know, we promised we'd be done by 8. I guess we have like 20 minutes. Do y'all want to keep going? Like, let's do a quick show of hands. Who wants to keep going? All right. Who? All right. I see. I mean, I see you 2 hands, but. All right. How many people want to go home? How many want to go home? Oh, so there's kind of even, honestly. So it's a little hard to tell.
Y'all a little shy.
Yeah. All right. So I think we can probably end it here. If you have any questions to the guys that raised their hands to keep going, if you have any questions, you can come down here and I'll go over them. If you want to just shout them out as well, I can go over them right now. But if you want to just talk after, you can come down here. But I think we can just end it over here. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Wait. We have a little announcement.
Oh, I forgot. See, that's what happens when you don't tell me.
Yeah, Wasim did tell us to make sure we stop him at some point. I see now why. But it's good. I mean, well, like, that was really good stuff. But yes, our other officer, Hussein, he had this wonderful idea. So we, in our office, we have these 3D printed out Momo coins. And look at all y'all. Yeah, y'all like some competition, so this will go well with y'all. But yeah, so in our office, we have these little cute Momo coin 3D prints, Momo 3D prints. And so Hussein had the wonderful idea. So whoever we're thinking, whoever can make like the most like creative clone of this, like if you can make your own animations, you know, or your own hackers, or your own theme. So the 5 most creative clones, basically, you can come see us, and you'll get your it just went out, your own 3D print Momo. So Hussein would like to give you all 1 hour. So by 9 p.m., go ahead and clone. So you can fork this. You can go ahead and fork this repository on Code Sandbox, and go ahead and play around with it. Try to put your own spin on it, and then put it in our Discord. And if you send it before 9 p.m., we'll take a look at it. We'll decide the best 5, and we'll award the one, you know, the best 5 in Momo 3D print. That's about all. What's up?
You want to give more time until tomorrow?
You want to give more time? Okay, Wasim is vouching for y'all. He wants to give y'all till tomorrow. So I'm obliged to agree. All right, so we'll give y'all till tomorrow.
And then you
So-
can post it on Discord?
Yeah, and then post on our Discord. But yeah, we are also officing. Oh, hello, testing. Besides that, you know, we're just opening. All right, screw it. Everybody go home. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Wasim.
Thank you, Wasim. That's actually a good question. So let me put it up right here. He wants to get into our Discord. I'm just gonna have an invite. Never generate new link.
So I was wondering, you created a project like we should click on Momos, right?
Yes.
The button Momos. So that gives you the specific dollars and that's increasing a specific dollar. So I was thinking like I mean, if they click on Momos, they should get like options like how whatever they're gonna insert, like $1, $5, and the user chooses the value.
Yeah.
And based on that, the values goes increasing.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking about that.
So, like having the farmer's value increase.
Yeah, I was. It's like when we create a simple basic program, what are we? The user chooses the value, right?
Yes.
That was like if we are clicking on this, like if you're clicking on this, you should create a pop-up like the user wanted to choose the value, like it's like this dollars. I mean, it starts from $1, right? So user chooses the value like $5, $10, and with that, through this, the price changes and it goes on increasing.
So you can definitely do that. So that could be pretty cool. Are you wondering how to do that as well? All right, so go ahead and ask Wasim real quick, and I'll be over here. But I guess he has a line now.
Because like we need to create a function that will create the user to choose the value for that.
Yes. So you'll need
So
like
you can
a
target the value, right?
yeah. So you can either apply that with a button, like a button we saw here today, or you can use an input field if you want to. But try to.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like you should input the field, so like you should cover the menu, so like how much the user wanted to have it.
Here, Samantha. So, do you want some help implementing it? All right. So go ahead and ask Samantha. She will. So he wants to implement like $5 instead of $1.
I mean, no, the user wanted to choose the value, like
Yeah.
$5, $10,
Yes.
or it depends on the user.
Hey.
So is there a video I can look so I can prepare myself for the event?
Yeah. So we do have our YouTube channel. Let me go and end the stream here.
I think it should be this one.
So that's talking about.